Join me inside my writing yurt. Come on. So here's a wonderful question, and the question is this. How do we rewrite a sentence without changing its meaning? Now, this is a wonderful question because sometimes we discover that rewriting a sentence allows us to make our meaning more clear. Without changing the meaning of the sentence, we make it a meaningful sentence for other people. So here are 3 simple tips for rewriting a sentence without changing its meaning. First, ask yourself, why are you rewriting a sentence? Do you want to make the meaning clearer, longer, shorter? Once you know your reason for rewriting, you'll have an easier time doing so. For example, suppose I said, "They were so beautiful I picked some flowers." You would probably understand me to mean that I picked some flowers because they were so beautiful. But suppose somebody was hearing that sentence out of context, and they might be confused about who this they are at the beginning of the sentence. I said, "They were so beautiful, I picked some flowers." Was this they the flowers? Or some people who were hanging around, or something else? People might get confused. In this case, I can rewrite my sentence to make it more clear by saying something like, "I picked some flowers because they were beautiful." Notice how we have the same idea in the sentence, the same meaning in the sentence, but I've rearranged the parts so that the sentence is clearer. Instead of saying, "They were so beautiful, I picked some flowers," I said, "I picked some flowers because they were beautiful." Second, ask yourself what your key idea or your key meaning actually is, and ask that question out loud. Rather than thinking in terms of writing, think in terms of speaking. If I asked you what you want to say, just in everyday conversation, how would you say it? So for example, I might say, "In going outside, I picked the flowers I saw that were so beautiful." Now, you notice that that sentence is a little bit convoluted. It sort of goes this way and that way. Listen to it again. "In going outside, I picked the flowers I saw that were so beautiful." But if you were to ask me out loud, you might say, "Thomas, what did you really want to say in that sentence?" And I'd probably say something like this: "The flowers were so beautiful, I picked some." Notice how saying, "The flowers were so beautiful, I picked some," is a much clearer idea, a much clearer sentence. And so in that case, my spontaneous response out loud can guide my written expression on the page. Now, third, once you're happy with your main idea, you might explore one more thing, which is to use something called a thesaurus. Now, you can get a thesaurus in a book form. You can also get an online thesaurus. I would recommend, for English, the Merriam-Webster thesaurus. What is a thesaurus? A thesaurus is a book like a dictionary, except that the book contains, for every word in it, it gives you other words that are like that word. This is my favorite thesaurus, the Oxford American Writers Thesaurus, because it's designed for writers. And I thought to look up a word. To look up the word pick, because I was talking earlier about picking flowers. So here are some synonyms for the word pick. That just means other words that mean more or less the same thing as the word pick. Harvest, gather, collect, and pluck. Now notice how these words, harvest, gather, collect, and pluck, suddenly give me more options for my sentence. So maybe I would want to rewrite my sentence to say, "The flowers outside were so beautiful, I gathered some for our home. Notice we have the same idea, the same meaning, but I've adjusted the words. And maybe I've adjusted the words in such a way that they mean more of what I wanted to say. So those are some ideas for how we rewrite a sentence without changing its meaning. So Moazam, I'd like to ask, does that answer your question, or do you have any other questions you'd like to follow up with? Is that clear?
Thank you.
Wonderful.